Blues got back to winning ways on Tuesday night with a 2-0 win at Brentford, and manager Gary Rowett was impressed with the reaction from his side.
I think any team that's based around character as one of the core principles, what you tend to find is you usually get a good response, and I think that's something we've always looked at. I think when you have that type of team, yes, sometimes maybe you don't reach the heady heights of winning 6-7 games on the spin, but what you do is you very rarely lose more than a couple of games on the spin, because there's always that little bit in the dressing room that they've kind of managed themselves to a certain degree, and they're desperate to get a win and a good performance to get back on track. So I think, like we said, there was always going to be a reason for and a bit of an excuse in some ways to not do as well in the last 3 or 4 games. We knew it would be tough, but we were hoping that we'd come out of it at Brentford, and we did, and it was a great result. Again, it's probably one of the biggest results of the season. And amazing how one win can change the mood and the mindset so easily, which probably tells us we've all got to be a little bit more patient, over the course of a season.
Michael Morrison opened the scoring with his first goal for the club. Another positive for Rowett from a player who's impressed since arriving last season.
Since he came in, he's been brilliant. Since we signed him straight away on loan, I think he signed on the Friday, played on the Saturday, had a huge effect, looked very comfortable straight away. I mean, the one thing with Morrow is straight away the players really like him. He's a very likeable lad, and I think that's one of the reasons why I've made him captain this season. Obviously, I kept him. I felt he deserved to stay as captain, even though Robbo came back into the team. I didn't want to take it away from him. And he showed that, and I think that if you looked at the start of the game, whenever we had a set piece, he was a little bit more aggressive. So whether in his own mind he thought, it's about time I scored that goal. And as we all know, Grounds' goal the other week against Bristol from a corner, Morrow's goal, it doesn't half make a difference when you nick 1 or 2 of those from set pieces. So I think that's certainly something we should be looking to do a little bit better.
Blues now head to Elland Road, where despite Leeds' unspectacular start to the season, the manager knows his side will be in for a tough afternoon.
Yeah, it was interesting really when you watch them. They played 4-3-3 quite a lot at the start of the season, and I felt as though they looked really, really solid. Drew a lot of games, very, very hard to break down. And then recently they've played 4-4-2 a lot more with Antonucci coming in. I think he scored a couple of goals off the bench and probably under pressure in terms of he's everyone wants him to start. So when they've played 4-4-2, they've probably been slightly more of an attacking threat, but a few more spaces around the pitch and therefore, so I think it's very, very difficult to preempt, but I think we'll be ready for both formations, and I think both formations will cause us a different problem. Both formations will allow us to cause them a different problem. So it's going to be very much as soon as we get their team, we'll know exactly which route we'll go down, but we'll give the players all that information today. Like we said, I know they've only won 2 games, but they've not lost many. I think they've only lost 2 as well. So, it's up to us to go there. I think the Brentford game also, the result gives us a little bit more freedom. We can go there. I think before the 2 games, if I'd have said, look, if we'd have won one of those 2, I'd have been quite happy. The fact that we've won the first one and played well gives us a real impetus to say, can we go and almost get a bonus result away at Leeds? So it's going to be important for us to do that.